Hey guys! Oh my goodness, it has been forever since we've done a podcast. We need to get back into the rhythm. I have some awesome guests lined up actually. I got my friend Taylor coming on next week, and I'm excited to hear kind of what he has to talk about. But yeah, we're doing podcast episode 4. We did a couple last year. It was really inconsistent. I want to say I'm going to be more consistent. I'm trying to kind of set some deadlines and get some guests in line to kind of hold me accountable to that. But today is just a revamping and reminding us of kind of what it is that we do. We talk about what I've been reading, what you guys have been reading or doing in your lives, and kind of how to kind of best encourage and empower all of you. That's kind of the idea. So I'm very, very excited to be a part of your day. I thank you guys for if you watch this later, if you watch this live now. I super appreciate any and all involvement. So it's going to be a really, really exciting bunch of podcasts coming up. So let's see. Update for those of you that don't know. I am in school now. It started actually today. My session. They're divided into 2 sessions for each semester. It started today. I'm very, very excited. I'm studying to become a teacher long term, and I'm tutoring part time, and I'm still at Starbucks as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's kind of a new journey for me in many many ways. But I'm very very excited for the opportunity that came across my desk, and for all this change that's been kind of going on. So it's been a little bit inconsistent on my end for me, but also it's been a huge area of growth, and I've been so blessed to be able to grow in that manner. All right, so oh my goodness, I wanted to show you guys some cool things that I've got since we've last talked. I have here this right here. This is the coolest book that I own. Um, I think probably hands down. It is Dramatic Works of Shakespeare. And if you look at that, the bottom there, does it say? I mean, this is huge. This was published in, I have it here at the front. I think it was the 1800s or the 1900s. I just remember being like so kind of impressed by it. Yeah, 1867. Let's go to the very bottom there. I don't know how well to focus on it. There we go. Yeah, 1867, which is super super old. But it's got Taming of the Shrew, Winter's Tale, Comedy of Errors, Macbeth, King John, King Richard II, Henry the Fourth, first and second part, King Henry the Fifth, first part of King Henry the Fourth, the sixth, I mean, and then some notes. It is amazing. It is just a wealth of knowledge, and it's wonderful, and it's amazing, and amazing. I'm so thrilled that I have access to this. Just it's an old book. It's a good book. It's published ages ago, and I'm just thrilled to have that. So today, basically, we're kind of getting back on the bandwagon for the podcast. My podcast is kind of about, as best as I can, and with having good guests on like next week with Taylor, is having people on to talk about living life and about kind of in being this together and striving to be better and to improve in kind of all areas of life. And so part of that is I kind of talk about what I've been reading, what I've been doing, where I'm going, what I plan on doing in the future. I'm very, very excited for just digging into some really, really good stuff and some great discussion. I had one guest on, my friend I work with, Dewan is his name, a couple podcasts ago. It's been a long time since we've done one of these, but he was a great guest. And I'm excited to just kind of share and grow. So I'm not sure if it's saying my connection's unstable. Dun dun dun. It might have glitched me out there. We'll see. All right, I think we're back there. I have now. This is an awesome book too. It's Masterworks of Literature. It has ancient literature. It has Old English literature. It has just so it's a wealth of knowledge. It's got poetry. It's got Renaissance. It's just and such an awesome resource, and it's got Homer and Plato. Plato? I believe so. Yeah. Yep, Virgil, Plutarch, Sophocles. Um, when I was in high school, I read a lot of these books in senior year, ancients books, anyways, and it was a great experience. And I just wanted to kind of revisit them and talk about them some. But recently, I've been reading Plato's Meno, and this right here is talking a little bit about, at least the first bit of it is about like virtue and what is virtue and can you teach it? Can it, is it a learned skill? Are you virtuous by nature, or do you have to practice it? And kind of like, can you teach it? And it's been amazing. And just I dug into this with some of my students today that I'm tutoring, and it was a great, great discussion. It's conversation between primarily Meno and Socrates, at least in the first good chunk of it, the first third and some change is just Meno and Socrates, and it's awesome. It has been huge. But yeah, anyhow, it's I'll just go ahead and read some of it just for you guys that are watching later and watching now. Um, there's a particular section that I just love. I'll just start from the beginning, actually. So Meno says to Socrates, can you tell me, Socrates, whether virtue is acquired by teaching or by practice? Or if neither, by teaching or by practice, then whether it comes from by nature or another way. And then Socrates says, oh, Meno, there was a time when the Thessalians were famous among other Hellenes only for their riches and their writing. But now, if I am not mistaken, they are equally famous for their wisdom, especially at Larissa, which is the native city of your friend, Aristippus. And this is Gordius doing. For when he came there, the flower of the Elide, among them your admirer Aristippus and other chiefs of the Thessalians fell in love with his wisdom, and he has taught you the habit of answering questions in a grand and bold style, which becomes those who know, and is the style in which he himself answers all comers, and any Hellene who likes may ask him anything. How different is our lot, my dear Meno, here at Athens? There is a dearth of the commodity, and all wisdom seems to have emigrated from us to you. I am certain that if you were to ask any Athenian whether virtue was natural or acquired, he would laugh in your face and say, stranger, you uh, have far too good an opinion of me if you think that I can answer your question. And it kind of goes on, and it starts asking questions about what is virtue, and they really dig into it. And the way that they kind of start to define it in this dialogue is they ask questions about it. They ask about what are virtues? Is there more than one virtue? What binds virtues together? And it's just a really, really wonderful piecing together of what is known as Socratic dialogue to some people. And it's a huge blessing in every way imaginable. Just to have a chance to walk through this and read these things again, because it just reminds me of back when I was younger and back when I was in school, and just the joy and the great discussions that were sparked from these ancient texts. So that's been awesome. So I recommend, if you haven't read this, and I haven't read it until just this last couple of weeks, and I think it's amazing. I always think it's important to pick up new things. I'm reading it for a job primarily, but also just the fact that I got pulled into it. It was such an awesome experience, Plato's Meno. So I love reading these ancient masterworks. In other news, I'm going to show you guys. I did a new T-shirt. They are going. Hopefully my website's going to be up this year. I'm jumping into a new job and school and stuff right now, so I can't say exactly when. I would love to say at some point this year. I want to make a deadline, and pick a day in this year where it's like this is the deadline it's going to happen. But I did want to show you guys a design that I made most recently. So this is the one. It's the Champion of the People shirt. This is a nickname that I got from some friends of mine, which is such a beautiful and very generous nickname. But Champion of the People. I've been selling them. I've been doing like if you want to have your name on the back, that's fine. But this is like the primary design that I'm working on right now. I have a couple others that I'm going to revisit from the past. If you know me, from historically, you know that I did the Give Love T-shirt, and I'm working on the Kill Time Not Vibes T-shirt. And my idea with these is twofold. One, to create something that is my creation and that is my idea, and put it out there and see where it goes. You know, put a lot of effort and work into it when I can, and just give it a good amount of effort and a good amount of follow through. Um, but if you guys don't know that one, if you haven't seen the Give Love shirt, I'm going to go ahead and show you this one um, that I have over here. So the Give Love shirt is pretty simple. It's on the front. This one actually had some friends of mine sign from an old job that I left. That was as challenging as it was wonderful. So a lot of my friends signed it. But the design here on the back, this is back when I did them by hand. I hand drew this design and was toying with it and got some good feedback on it. But the actual T-shirt itself is primarily just this right here. This is the logo um, that I have there for it, and that's the logo that I'm going to put on the other ones that I'm making um, right now. I got some iron-on stuff that I worked very, very well, and then I washed in the washing machine and the dryer. It turned out just fine. It didn't have any real wear and tear that was noticeable. So very, very excited to be able to be doing that and sharing that with you guys all very, very soon. If you're local and you've already ordered, they are in the works. I've got selling them for 3 more days. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be the last couple of months I'm selling these guys before I kind of have my deadline, because I had a timeline of 2 weeks to sell them and to make them, and I've sold 17 out of my goal for 20 in that 2-week period. So I'm very, very excited to have kind of made some good progress and push that more, push that further than historically. Because historically I did 2 months, sold 40. I wanted to kind of double that productivity and also to make the time much less. So I took what would have been, you know, if you take that as double, you do that, sorry, words. If you do that as double productivity, 40 in 2 months is 40 in a month. So I just went ahead and did 20 in 2 weeks just to kind of get myself a small kind of ballpark to work in, but also kind of work on connections and sales and good customer relations. And so I'm working on kind of getting that process and those things more in the works. So that is the story on that front. So we're working on those. I was going to do an album this last year, 2019, but of course I moved across the country and things just kind of were a little hectic. So we kind of jumped into a lot of things that were brand new and challenging. And it's always, I'm writing music. I am hoping and planning to do another album this year, and I'm hoping to announce that very, very soon. My other one's still up on SoundCloud. I'm going to go ahead and link that in the comments here, please, that don't have a chance to listen to it. I did my album that I recorded in my home studio that I didn't really know how to use at first. I'm still kind of learning. And also there's a lot of tracks on there. I need to kind of clean it up because some of them are not great, and I want to put forth good quality product and content to when I'm creating stuff for you guys and myself and things of that nature. But I'm going to go ahead and link the SoundCloud here so you guys can go check out the stuff. The 2 albums that are amazing is A Very Austin Christmas and the Give Love EP. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab both of those playlists for you. Okay, so here it's called the Home Studio EP 2018. Let's go ahead and share this one. All right, so this is the first one. That's the Home Studio EP. And then this one is the one that was in my friend's professional studio, The Very Austin Christmas, and it is amazing. And he did a fantastic job with it. I am so blessed to have worked with this guy James. If you guys are up in I think he's in the Poulsbo area of Washington State. His studio is called Rabbit Hole Recording Studios, and he does amazing work. He works with the band that I know many of the members of called Selah Cora, I believe it is. So I'll try to link those guys too, 'cause they're amazing. They have really good music. And James is awesome, and he's done this for like professionally for a good while. Um, anyhow, that is the story. I hope that my audio is coming through very, very well. I honestly had not a chance to do the sound check. I did want to finally go live and just get it out there. I'll be able to kind of watch back and see how good it was. I don't know, depending on kind of where it is. I've got my microphone um, tucked behind my screen here, so I've been trying to predict a little bit, but also there's a microphone on my webcam here, so I'm not sure exactly where that's going in. I haven't done the work of actually sitting there doing it, and so I'm going to go ahead actually and do it right now. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. Um, dun, dun, dun. Okay, so it looks like it is picking up microphone. It's getting input, so it looks like it's coming through. Awesome. All right, so that's kind of the books I've been reading, a little bit about the music stuff, the teachers that are going on. Classes for school start today. I'm in a math and history class right now. Very, very excited to kind of be jumping back into that and pursuing my future and my goals a little more seriously than I have in the past. So very, very exciting to be back on track there. What else are we talking about today? What else? So that is some of my instruments that I play pretty regularly. Um, I honestly have played more historically. I had a really good theory teacher in middle school, so I learned these: the guitar, piano, the bass, the ukulele. My sister had a harp for a while. That was awesome, and she'll let me borrow her harp from time to time. I used to play the viola when I was in middle school, and it was a lot of fun. So I primarily play these ones now, and I love the piano and the keyboard. I can't wait to one day get an actual piano for where I'm staying. But right now, this is a great tool and a great resource for what I need. And it's just something to play, practice on. I'm very, very blessed to have it in my arsenal of musical instruments. But yeah, that is primarily what we got going on. Once again, we're kind of still getting back into it. So today's episode is more about just letting you guys know it's going to be happening more consistently, more regularly. I'm very, very excited for it. Um, my friend from college gave me that poster actually ages ago. Zachary was his name, really good friend of mine, and it was good. It was definitely one of those things that I've treasured for so long. We were so close back in the day. We kind of lost touch, and I wish him the best, and I hope he's doing very, very well. But that happens over time. You grow and you glow. Did I have any enemies in college? Both my roommates. When I was in university in Dallas, when I was at university, I had both of my roommates were um, difficult to navigate. You know, they were both great people in their own right. I just didn't have the right energy to kind of match their energy in a way. We just didn't have the same interests, didn't have the same hobbies, so it made it very difficult to kind of juggle that. It was my first time living with someone aside from family at that time in my life because I just finished high school and very, very blessed to have lived with family all throughout that time. Long story short, both my roommates, they're once again great people in their own right. We just clashed. We didn't have the same kind of energies, the same kind of interests, the same kind of desires. Um, but it worked out where both times it was my roommates, and um, after that, I don't think it ever happened again. I think that it was definitely one of those things where I was adjusting, they were adjusting, and just wasn't great timing. But yeah, in a nutshell, and I was only there for a little over a semester. Before I went home, I decided that I didn't want to do college and I wanted to be a rebel and I wanted to like work in kitchens and be be an angry, angsty young adult, and it didn't serve me long term. And now I'm back at school, and I am kind of pursuing more of my dreams, my passions, and it has been a huge blessing and a huge lot of change in every way imaginable. But it's been good, very, very good. I'm actually gonna bring the keyboard over here, play you guys some stuff I've been working on. That's the best way to do this. Do not really a good way. As of right now, this time in college, I don't think so. I just started. It's currently in online classes, um, just because of the constraints of my other job, and my two jobs that I work at as a tutor and as a barista at Starbucks. Because of the fact that my schedule is sporadic in both of those instances, it's kind of harder to kind of get a more solid schedule for that. So, and I honestly don't really think that having enemies is a very smart thing if you can avoid it. I mean, people are going to be how they're going to be. You know, people are people, and every person is unique, and every person has their own struggles and their own trials. And I think that putting out negative energy in any way is not good. Um, I think that's just a waste of your time and a waste of other people's time. Putting out negative energy and bad vibes only reciprocates those things. So I always recommend and say no reason to make enemies. Oh no, I can't. I'll tell you the truth here. I haven't had a single piano lesson. I learned about ear and by theory after I did theory in middle school and high school. Um, I'm sure that eventually I could look it up and learn it, but I don't know it. It's one of those songs, isn't it? Oh yeah, yeah. Something like that, right? High fives all around. Digital high fives. For sure. For sure. Always. Oh, sorry. Oh. There we go. Getting it. Getting it right there. The Hall of the Mountain King. Or oh man, Claire de Lune, I think that was called. So when we're working on that, um, I've been working on a good progression to kind of create a song in, and I start in the key of B, but then I go to the key of E, and then back to B, and then we're going to a C sharp major there. So B major, E major, A major, F sharp major, C sharp major, and then G sharp minor, and then back to B. That one is one of my friends put me onto this weird like turning math into music thing, and he said try the Fibonacci sequence, and I was like, okay, so that's 1 1 2 3 5 8, right? Playing around with that, and then looking at pi. that's 3 1 4 1 5 9, which is just the octave of the 2. Uh, make a bad song. Oh man, it would kill my ears to make a bad song because I would just like shrivel up and die. Um, my mom has this thing where and other people I know too, where like my friend Rachel too. If you play you play Pop Goes the Weasel on a minor key and it just sets them off. They can't handle it. Or if you do it over like minor, like that's about as bad as I can get on the song making front. Oh, I got something for you guys. This is good. That's a fun one to play. Kind of gets people like their ears perked up. I recognize that. Awesome. I'm just checking something here on the old social medias, making sure that my post went through about the old podcast. It has gone up. Sweet. No, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll be doing this hopefully every week, kind of from here on out, maybe every other week. Next week, my buddy Taylor's on. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I used to work at a vegan restaurant actually, so it's really cool. Vegan chicken nuggets is pretty cool. Um, I worked up in Tacoma, Seattle area before I came down this way to Georgia, so it's definitely been a journey. But have a great night. Thanks for coming in. Whew. Well, guys, we talked about the books. Once again, if you're just tuning in, highly recommend this one, Plato's Meno. It talks about virtue and what is virtue, what is kind of morality. It's a great, great dialogue between Plato and Meno and other characters later on. But the first bit, I'm just in between the two of them, and it is amazing. Just go and check it out. It's delightful. This is a great book that I have. It's masterworks literature. Read these classics. Read Shakespeare. Read Plato. Read Aristotle. Read these ancient texts because they're so rich and so full of life. I cannot stress enough the importance of it, and they're well put together. Um, there are some bits where the language of Shakespeare, which I have here, Shakespeare's language is so different than modern English. But it's once you get over kind of like that hurdle of understanding some of the um, nuances of the language. It is such an absolute delight to read it and to go into that world and to explore it. And once again, like it stood the test of time. It's great literature. There's that. Album is on the way in the works. Been working on it. Played a little bit of stuff I've been working on for you. Got some other stuff that I played here. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. I'm really digging into my software. I'm actually going to go ahead and move the camera real quick here. I have this right here, which I've been toying around with. I also have my soundboard over here, and all my equipment's actually in a box in that blue box over there. So I'm going to be sitting down doing sound check the next little bit here. I am super, super excited to kind of be digging into it. But I hope that I encourage you guys with this. The purpose of this is not to show off. The purpose of this is to, especially when the guests come on, bring them in, have them talk about what they're going through, what they're experiencing, what they're doing with their lives. Talk about things, encourage people, push people to be better. That's the real goal here. The goal in it is to bring people in, show you guys what's going on in my world, be open and honest about things, and also just to encourage you guys to go out there, to push yourself, to drive for whatever it is that you want to go for in life, and to work hard and to live your best life. It's also, for me, it's to say, hey, Austin, look what you're capable of, look what you do, and to keep me on track and remind me of my vision. And giving you guys that vision. When I go back and watch it later, it's like, oh yeah, I said that. I have to kind of, hold myself to it now. So I'm really, really blessed to be able to do this, to have the opportunity to just have some margin, finally, to make this happen again. Exciting. It's a huge blessing. Amazing, amazing, amazing opportunity just to talk and to share and to listen. It's amazing. So I'm going to move this back. Quick reminder again for the local people out here where I'm at. If you know me, or if you're local, and even if you're not local, I'm doing these shirts. I am trying to keep good records. But I've got this right here, this order form that I put together. I don't know how seriously this is gonna. I'm gonna take this awkward ninja fashion, but I have the order form here. I have my timeline where I started my project Sunday, I want to say, what's the 5th, and I'm going until the 19th. I guess the last day will be the 18th, but I'm only selling them until the 16th. So my goal is to make 20. I've already done 17 and one tentative, so I still need to make 3 for sure sales. And the tentative one may or may not come through. We'll see. But long story short, I'm just trying to be very, very thorough with it. I've been doing some price shopping. I give people kind of a ballpark number, but I found something that might be a little bit cheaper. I'm very, very excited. But if you're interested in finding out more, just shoot me a message or a comment on my social medias. I am on Instagram. I am on Twitter. I have a Facebook page. I'm on my YouTube thing here as well. If you want to get a hold of me, that's the best way to kind of comment. And if you're interested in any of these things, the t-shirts in particular, that's what I'm working on right now. We might build from here. We might not. We're just going to kind of play it by ear, see what happens. But just kind of be aware that that's happening. Next week, my friend Taylor's going to be on here. He's a fellow student and a fellow barista. I think we're going to have some great conversation. Whenever I have a guest on, I've only had one on, but it just kind of elevates the experience, and it's really awesome to have someone in to talk with you and to give you that back and forth, the discussion that can't really. It's a little bit possible with the comments, but having someone here physically is also a real treat as well. So I'm about to end it here. I wanted to share with you guys some music, share with you guys some what I've been reading, what's kind of going on, what's been the experience I've had. It's been wonderful. It's been a huge blessing. And yeah, it's going to be a real good time. I'm excited for these podcasts and what's going to be coming up in the future. I have some really good guests lined up, and I am so thrilled to be having them on. So have you guys in English? It's my first language. It's my only language. Can't speak it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I look forward to hearing from you all. Those who had a chance to watch this later. It was short notice as well. I posted that I was going live the moment I went live. So I'm very, very excited to be sharing that with you all. But next week, same time, between 7 and 7:30, we'll go live and we'll talk for a little bit. And I'm very, very thrilled to be having Taylor on, and I have some other guests lined up. I know my friend Amber wants to be on. I know I got a couple people. I'm excited. It's going to be a really good experience. So you guys are wonderful, fantastic, marvelous, all the rest. It's been an absolute pleasure to share with you all some of my journey, my experience, and I will see you all later next week. Peace out.